Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Generational Sports. It's your boy, as always, and the guy to my right, it's Josh, as always. Because,
Boom.
well, you know what? We are consistent, let me tell you.
You sure?
Um, Listen, crazy week in the NFL, and it's going to be a heavy NFL show because, yeah, we had a UFC fight night. Kind of mid.
It was, yeah, I guess it was mid, but two of the
Nope,
nastiest
cuts.
cuts I've seen.
Disgusting.
Ended two fights.
Could literally see the vein.
Yeah, that one was bad.
That is just I could throw up thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. And Song Yadong had one for the main event. He got cut with a nasty elbow by Sandhagen, and that ended it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely not exactly what you want if you're one of those two people. But you know what? They're UFC fighters, so they probably don't even feel pain. They're
Couple
probably
snooze
calling us
fests coming
soft
up
right
too.
now for thinking that it's even a big deal.
Couple snooze fest fights coming up too. But we're two fight nights away from being the week of UFC 280. So can't put all the good fights ahead.
That is true. All right, let's get into everything. Actually, wait, I lied. Can't do that. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I actually watched Terminal List this
Did
past.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fire. That first episode got me hooked, bro. The ending of it, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because the end you're like, damn, did he actually?
I was like, his wife and daughter dead. Spoiler alert. Sorry,
You know what?
It's been
I
out long.
would call you out for saying it's a spoiler alert, but I looked up the show before, like I watched it, and it literally says it in the synopsis of the show.
Really?
So it's not even like I guess it's not even supposed to be a shock or anything because they literally say like if you go to look up the show, it says man tries to like get back at the people who kill his family. Like, oh, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't, looking forward to figuring out what was happening or anything.
The ending did shock me a bit too. I mean, Ben, I was like, damn.
See, that's
That's
see, no
good show.
spoilers here, but
Very
yeah,
good
that
show.
ending,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're good though, Josh. All good. Life's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, we're good. Actually, had a pretty successful weekend betting wise. wasn't
Okay.
wasn't too bad.
I got a bet tonight on tonight's Bills game. I got a Diggs Allen anytime touchdown and the Bills money line. $10, $40, $46 payout.
I got like a double same game parlay, like for both games. I got Diggs anytime, Bills over 28.5 points. I think they're going to run it up on
Yeah,
the
I think
fight.
they're gonna blow them out.
And then I kind of hedged my bet a little bit because if the Vikings win, then I take a 1 game lead in our pick 'em. And I bet on Philly. So, it's a win
This
win.
is true.
And
Listen,
AJ,
we're gonna get to our pick recap later in the show, obviously, but you know,
yeah.
do have two Monday night games tonight. Oh, I forgot it all week long, and I'm very happy because I think. Listen, I like watching the Bills play because I like watching Josh Allen play, and then honestly, I think this Viking Eagle game, especially with the way Week 2 has gone so far,
Yeah.
could be fantastic. And listen, why don't we use that as a jumping off point because we are going to get into all of Week 2, obviously, because that is what we are here to do. But let's preview Monday night game or games, I should say, just a little bit before they kick off. I'm watching right now. The Titans are walking out of the tunnel, so obviously this game will be underway pretty soon. But Josh, just your thoughts on it because I think we both believe at least that the Bills are going to walk away victorious. But just some keys for both teams or what you think about this game going into it before we do officially get kickoff.
Yeah, obviously, the game plan for the Titans coming in when the Bills are the Super Bowl champs is you got to get Derrick Henry going early to try and possibly open up that passing game. But we're talking about the number one defense in the league last year that added Von Miller, so it's going to be a very tough game for them. But for the Bills, it's the same thing as last week. I mean, I think the Rams I feel like have a better defense than the Titans, so if they can get Devin Singletary to run the ball the way he did last week, that'll open up things downfield. Is Gabriel Davis out or is
Yeah, he is out. That is why I put the anytime touchdown on Diggs.
yeah. I was actually gonna do Gabriel Davis touchdown, but then it took it off, so I was like, oh, he must be out. But yeah, Jameson Crowder, Isaiah McKenzie, they're gonna have to step up and make plays too, because all that attention is gonna be on Diggs. Dawson Knox is gonna have to make some plays, but it's the Bills. I don't expect anything other than double digit win probably.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that can really save the Titans is the fact that I was just watching the pre-show a little bit, and that the Bills run a lot of nickel. So you're asking some pretty tiny dudes to tackle Derrick Henry, and obviously might be a little easier. I don't think it's ever easy to tackle Derrick Henry, but it might be a little easier at the beginning of the game. So if you're the Titans, if you can keep it like a 3, even a touchdown, game going into the late third and early fourth quarter, obviously later into the game, do they start wearing down and like, damn, bro, I am 5'10", 185, and Derrick Henry is like what 6'3", 280. I'm
Right.
really or 245. I am really not trying to tackle this man right now. So obviously I feel like that's kind of the key for the Titans. But like you said, I think this is all Bills. I mean, Josh Allen, I could see over 350 total yards. I feel like that's normal for him now. Um, Diggs, you expect a big game out of him, especially with Gabe Davis out. I think Dawson Knox is gonna get a little bit more of a play here, because I think going into last week we kind of thought that, especially after he got paid,
Hmm.
and he didn't do too much in that opening game. So maybe they've had a week, actually a little bit more than a week, uh, to give to put him more into the game plan. So I'm excited to see. But yeah, like we said, I pretty should be. I mean, listen, this week too, if it's taught us anything, nothing's going to be easy. So this game should be pretty easy for the Bills, but we will find out. Next up, the game that starts from an hour from now, because that's one thing I'm a little upset about.
Yeah.
I wish that this was a 7 o'clock, 10-10 type of thing.
Yeah.
And I guess you can't really do it because both of the teams that are playing later tonight, East Coast. No, not really. Yeah.
It's the NFL. People would stay up wherever
No, no,
their
no.
time zone is.
They would stay up, but I guess it's not fair to the teams
Right. I
because,
guess.
like, they're not like. Why would you make me play on a West Coast time, and I'm from the East Coast? Like if this was Rams Eagles or
Yeah.
like a Charger Eagle thing, like then yeah, I would be like, why wouldn't you start it at 10? But I guess it wouldn't really be fair. Um, I think that game is going to be very good. We had a lot of very good games over the weekend, which we're obviously about to get into after this. But that game could be right up there with them, even without the crazy endings that we've seen so far. Darius Slay versus Justin Jefferson. You're going to have, I don't know, is it Pat Pete still over there for the Vikings?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
up against Brown. Jalen Hurts had a pretty solid game rushing, and obviously Brown had that amazing game receiving. So which way are they going to go? The Eagles really did make their identity running the ball, but then you go and get AJ Brown, so maybe they want to pass a little bit more, see what the defense can take advantage of. And that Viking offense looked unbelievable in week one. Obviously Jefferson had the 2 touchdowns. No, was it 1 touchdown?
Two, I think. Two.
2 touchdowns. What do you have, like 180 something yards in that game? He went absolutely crazy. So I think that game is going to obviously be very, very fun. Like Josh alluded to, I got the Eagles. He's got the Vikings. So obviously a little bit of a differing opinion there. I think Hurts and that Eagle offense will make just enough plays to beat the Vikings. Still not in love with their defense. I know that they held the Packers uh, down in week one, but even last night against the Bears, the Packers didn't look anything crazy. So maybe it's one of those situations. And I think the Eagles' defense is pretty solid. Obviously, they're going to give up some plays to Justin Jefferson. That happens. Probably going to happen to everybody every week. So, I don't really expect him to be quiet, but I don't think they're going to have two absolutely blown coverages that are going to just let this man run wild across the field. So,
Yeah. I think. Obviously, I feel like the Eagles, they're favored. The lines moved a lot. The Vikings opened as favorites, and now it's right now. I'm pretty sure the Eagles are the favorites. And Kirk Cousins' prime time has not turned out very
Two and
well.
nine.
Yeah, not too good. But this Vikings offense, just with Kevin O'Connell calling the plays, I feel like it's a very different feel, and it's more open and just more of a real offense more than what they've had in the past. So I think it could be a little bit different, but the biggest thing for me, I think, is the pass rush for both sides. Obviously, Hurts moves around a lot. Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter are, one of the best duos in the league. You saw it last week, all the pressure they were getting on Rodgers. So the Eagles do have the advantage there, having a mobile quarterback. Kirk is going to have to get the ball out pretty quickly for the Vikings because Hassan Reddick is, he was with the Panthers last year, a lot of sacks. He's a beast. They got a lot of good guys on that D line.
Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis that they drafted.
Yeah, and that secondary is nice too. So, I mean, I think it's going to just be about the quarterbacks. Dalvin Cook's going to come to play. We might see Miles Sanders some here and there. But, yeah, I think it's a big pass rush game for me.
Well, that's the Monday night games, and now we get into the games that have already been played. Starting off, man, with a game that I don't think anybody saw coming. Listen, I think we thought that the game would be pretty good, but in the third quarter, when it's let me do some quick math here. 28 30, when it's 35-14 in the fourth quarter, you don't really expect to be talking Miami Baltimore much, and then it just went berserk. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Lamar had over 100 rushing yards for the 11th time in his career. He passed Michael Vick for the most all time by a quarterback, obviously. I think he's the first player in history to have a 75-yard touchdown run and pass in the same game. So listen, how everybody knows how I feel about Lamar. Very good game. Probably one of the more complete games that I've ever seen him play from both. I mean, he was 21 of 29, 318, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 9 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown.
You see what Pro Football Focus gave him?
No, I did not.
Score? 66.4.
Listen, that's why I don't understand.
It doesn't make sense.
What are you supposed to do?
And Patrick Mahomes is week 1. He was like the 7th best quarterback of week 1.
Yeah, I saw that too. The people that live and die by Pro Football Focus, I literally don't get it. I feel like Pro Football Focus is used if it helps your argument, and then I guess that's a stupid thing to say because I guess everybody does it this way, but I feel like it's never accurate. It's just more of oh, see, I told you that this player's a lot better than you thought. Pro Football Focus has him rated there.
Yeah, I don't trust them at all. I don't know.
And then all of a sudden, they're terrible, and it's well, Pro Football Focus has them rated there. I told you, they're not even good. Meanwhile, you're talking about Mahomes throwing 5 touchdowns, and he's the 7th best quarterback.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you, but I mean, that's just Lamar. 318, 3 touchdowns, 119 yards rushing on 9 carries and a touchdown. Bateman 4 catches, 108, a touchdown. Mark Andrews 9 for 104 and a touchdown. Before anybody could even sit on their couch, Duvernay had with a kickoff return touchdown to start the game off, which is always electrifying. So it's 35-14, and you're feeling pretty good if you're a Ravens fan. Obviously, you're probably already, preparing your victory post, having a couple more drinks, smoking the Dolphins pack and everything. And then the fourth quarter happened. And Miami outscored Baltimore by a very familiar score to some Patriot fans, 28-3 in the fourth quarter. And this led to Tua being 36 of 50 for 469 yards, 6 touchdowns, did throw the 2 interceptions. And then what can you even say about the wide receivers? I'm kind of previewing something. If you played them in fantasy, I feel terrible for you. Tyreek Hill 11 for 190, 2 touchdowns on 13 targets. Waddle 11 for 171, 2 touchdowns on 19 targets. So it's building the fastest wide receiver core maybe in the NFL history. seems to be paying off just a tad bit. But an unbelievable game. Obviously, the Dolphins come back. Um, they get the touchdown to Tua, not to Tua, to Hill, I believe, to make it 35-28. Baltimore goes for it on a fourth down, I believe,
Yeah, QB sneak on.
which I don't agree with. Obviously, the momentum is with Miami, so you're kind of thinking, okay, we get the fourth down, we stop the momentum. But if you get stopped, then you're giving them a short field, which obviously you did. They go down, score the touchdown again. That was Hill for the second time again, right?
No, I think this was it. Yeah, it was. It was. It was another deep ball to Hill, I think.
Which, by the way, I simply don't understand. There's some things I don't understand in the NFL.
Yeah.
How do you let Tyreek Hill get behind you on defense?
Yeah.
Like that first touchdown he had, I kind of understand. Like they were behind him, but like they were close to him.
Right.
The second one, the man's
10-yard
walking to the
separation.
end zone.
Yeah, 10-yard separation, like at the start of his route. Like it was insane.
So they end up tying the game. Then
Baltimore drove down and
kicked a field goal.
yeah, but I feel like that was a very weird drive too, because when they got across midfield, like it was like, okay, they're gonna try to take off as much time as they want. Justin Tucker is gonna nail a field goal. Just defense got to stop him. But then they threw it twice. Like I was like, why are you? If you're settling for a field goal, milk the clock. Like what are you doing, throwing the ball into the end zone? You know, when you have Justin Tucker.
You know, and here's the thing too. Like I'm looking at the fourth quarter drives right now. Shout out NFL.com. Start of the fourth quarter, Ravens only possessed the ball 3 minutes on their first drive. The drive ends on downs on obviously on the fourth play. Oh Jesus Christ, fourth down play. Then Dolphins score right away. A minute and 24 seconds was their drive. And they ended up scoring on that 48-yard touchdown to Tyreek. Then the Ravens punt, but that drive only took a minute and a second off the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Dolphins come back, scoring a minute 27. That was the 60-yarder to Tyreek Hill. And then once again, Ravens 3-minute drive, which is better, end up with a 51-yard field goal from Tucker. And then the Dolphins come down, 8 plays, 2 minutes and 4 seconds, starting at their own 32. And they get the touchdown pass to Waddle. And man, was that game something. Like, that is unbelievable. What'd you think about it?
Well, one more thing before my thoughts on the whole game. Did you see the Hail Mary at the very end?
No, I didn't.
So Lamar threw it up and it reached the end.
Oh, yes, the Hail Mary at the end of the game, yes.
I thought that was
actually, before you continue, one thing that I forgot I should have mentioned. Well, actually, you didn't even ask me how I was doing today, so that's probably why I didn't mention it.
My bad. That's
bro. My Sunday ticket. I don't know if you saw Twitter during Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Done. Sunday ticket. First quarter worked fine. Probably from the 12-minute mark until I don't know, the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. Sunday ticket was down. Missed everything. The only thing I was watching was the Panther-Giant game.
That's the only thing DirecTV is alive for still.
Literally, the only reason DirecTV is relevant is for Sunday Ticket, and it didn't work for half of the day yesterday. I was fuming.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Of course, because if nothing happens, maybe I'm not that mad. The Nelson Aguilar Moss touchdown, didn't even see it. Saw it on Twitter. Obviously, the Dolphins and Ravens didn't see it. I had the Saints-Buck game on. Barely. I saw, from then on. I missed the fight. All that. Just unbelievable. But anyway, continue. Sorry, I had to get the anger out. What's going on?
That's good. But that Hail Mary, from my eyes, I thought it was pass interference. I thought there should have been an untimed down. Like, the ball got there and Bateman was coming back for it. And I don't know who the DB was, but he kind of held him back a little bit. So I thought there should have been an untimed down on the goal line.
I don't exactly disagree with you, but I feel like a Hail Mary at the end of the game it has to be like the worst pass interference you've ever seen.
Like that Jimmy
you have to
Graham,
tackle
where he
somebody
just-
in the yes. Like you
just
have to tackle somebody, push somebody, drop kick them, or something in the end zone for them to actually call it. Because I feel like that has it never gets called. Because let me tell you something, Josh. That Eagle Patriots Super Bowl, to this day, it was pass interference on Gronk.
Yeah, no, I thought it was too. I thought that one for sure was too. But that's what I'm saying. Like the Hail Mary, like at the end of the game, like that, like Baltimore did its job and got into a point where because Lamar, I mean, he looked really good yesterday, but his arm strength isn't all the way up there.
No,
he can
not.
throw it.
It's not Stafford, Josh Allen, Herbert, Mahomes.
Yeah. But he got it there. Like he got it to the goal line, and Bateman was coming back for it and got held. So I just thought, I thought it was pretty obvious to me, and there was a ref right there. I don't know. I thought there should have been none time down, but also, did you see that there's a video on Twitter of it's like reversed and Tua's right-handed?
Yes.
Looks so clean. Why does it look so clean flipped?
I feel like it's because we're just so used to right-handed quarterbacks. Like how many?
It's like a completely different motion.
Like besides Tua, who's a lefty quarterback?
I don't know. Do we have a lefty in the league right now?
I can't think of one off the top of my head. And I mean, even in like NFL history, it's like him, Steve Young.
There's got to be more.
Vic was a lefty, right?
Who?
Vic.
Yeah, Vic was a lefty.
Like, there's just not a lot.
Yeah, there isn't really a lot of lefties. I guess I never really thought of that, but I don't know. Now I'm trying to think really hard if there's.
I think Tua might be the only one.
In that division, there's no other lefties. No one in the north.
Yeah, only one active left-handed quarterback, and it's Tua. I just looked it up.
That's kind of crazy. I thought there were more.
Well, actually, this does say 2021, but I mean, everybody's the same.
Yeah, I don't think any of the rookies were left.
Yeah, we haven't had any change, so.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, for the game itself, I had Ravens money line. That was one of the few bets I lost that week. Honestly, like I switched games. I went back to watch the Carolina game when it was 35-14. I was like, yeah, Baltimore's got it locked up. But then, they came back and won it. And like you were saying earlier, that secondary, I just don't know how you allow that much separation. I mean, they drafted Kyle Hamilton, which a lot of people did not like because it works for Isaiah Simmons because he's a freak athlete and he can play safety and linebacker and, go head up on Darren Waller for 4 quarters. But Kyle Hamilton, he just looks so slow out there. Like as a safety, the guy that's supposed to protect you from deep balls to Tyreek.
Did he get hurt yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
I thought somebody in that secondary got injured yesterday.
Marcus Williams did.
Okay, it was Marcus Williams. Okay.
Yeah. That secondary, it's banged up a little bit, but you still got Marcus Peters back there. Like he should be able to stick with guys. And Marlon Humphrey, I think he might have played. I can't remember if he did.
I think wasn't that Peters' first game back.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of time.
I guess I'll give him that then. First game back, you're going up against Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Talk about a tough life.
Yeah, this
isn't the MLB. You get a nice rehab assignment against some 20-year-old kid. Nope, all of it is you got thrown back into the fire.
Yeah, that's a tough way to come back, but I don't know that. Like you were pointing out, the drive time for Baltimore. Like when you see after they get it 21-35, you're like, all right, let's try to take a little bit more time off the clock. And then when they get it 28-35, it's like, all right, now we really should make a drive out of this, get some points on the board, and it's a 3-and-out. Like that just can't happen. Especially with, Lamar had a hell of a day. He had a perfect passer rating like in the first half and started the third and everything.
He had a perfect passer rating overall.
He finished with a perfect passer rating?
I thought so. I thought I saw somebody say that.
The only mistake I really saw him make is he should have had a pick six. He threw it right to Xavier Howard. And
I did see that. Yeah,
that was a walk-in.
That one, and people are giving the receiver who dropped it some slack. I guess he's a rookie. That pass over the middle, late in the game. I think it was on third down. Yes, it was on third down. I think it was the drive that they punted in the fourth quarter. He had a pass over the middle to some rookie wide receiver, I want to say it is, and it was a little high and behind. It was kind of like one of these.
Okay,
Got,
I do remember that
yeah,
play.
got both hands on the ball, and a lot of people are saying he should have caught it, but I mean, he was wide open, like
Yeah,
wide. And I guess you look back on it, doesn't really matter because there was a holding call on the
yeah,
play anyway. But like, it's the little things like that like maybe okay, I just completed a pass, get me into a rhythm, but
yeah, yeah. I just felt like they were being too complacent and like just being like they're not going to come back. Like we have 3 touchdown lead, it's not going to happen, and wound up happening. And that last drive by the Dolphins, I mean, it just looked too easy again. Like the one time where it's like, all right, we can't let them get in
toughen
field
up.
goal range. That then they decided to cover deep, but they were giving underneath routes to Jalen Wall and Tyreek. Like they're still very fast. They're going to pick up a lot of yards very quickly, and that's just what happened. And then Jalen Waddle makes an amazing catch in the end zone, and
Yeah.
Tua's got 6 touchdowns, and that's it. I mean, Mike McDaniel's got to be in heaven right now, bro. It's going exactly what he wanted it to be.
Imagine first 2 wins in the NFL, Bill Belichick, John Harbaugh.
Yeah, like it doesn't really get better than that.
That's what go beat Mike Tomlin in week 3 or something. I
Yeah,
don't even know.
beat Andy Reid and Mike Tomlin, and you got them all. You
Can you
got them.
imagine who are they playing? Listen, if they beat the Bills next week,
That's gonna be a game. That's
we're,
gonna be a game.
we're
'Cause
starting.
that's
Yeah,
a secondary that plays smart and like doesn't let stuff get behind them. So that's
that
gonna be
that
fun.
is going to be a game. Like I said, we're going to get into our picks later, but that might be one of my favorite games of the week,
Oh yeah,
and we're not even talking about it yet. What do you think this does for Tua though?
I think it's. I mean, I saw someone on Twitter. They said there were like 6 touchdowns and none of them were impressive. Like, what does the guy got to do? It's 6 touch. You want all of them to be jump balls and forced passes? Like, they don't all. If they're easy, you get them.
We've and I. It's hard for me to say this because I guess I almost am part of the problem that like we're so into the like, can you see what Josh Allen is doing?
Right.
And do you see what Mahomes is doing? And Hurt, which by the way, this game isn't even on here, and we're gonna have to talk to it in the headlines. Herbert is an animal. I cannot. I don't know how we finished that game.
No.
First of all, third down, man goes to run for the run for the first down, has to throw it away because he's in so much pain. The literal next play threw a 30-yard dart in absolute. It looked like it was 95 miles. Like if this is baseball, he threw a 101 and painted the corner of the plate. I mean, only where the wide receiver could have caught it. An unbelievable throw. So, like, we're so used to those quarterbacks that, like,
You don't appreciate like
like
the other things.
nobody is and it's always a negative thing too. Like nobody can be a game manager anymore.
Yeah, it's not allowed. You have to be a franchise.
And like I said, I am definitely part of that problem because, like I said before the year, like I've never really believed in Tua. I've never really. Bills take the lead, by the way, and I want to say that might have been a fullback screen, honestly, because I don't know who the hell number 41 is. I'll tell you that. Reggie Gilman, yeah, gotta be a fullback. But like we don't really, or I should say me at least. Like I've never really been a Tua guy. I've never really, Gino, Tua second place MVP next to Gino.
Gino was in first place, but after that game, not
yeah, nah. I saw something on Twitter that was like, you think Gino's writing back to those haters yet? Because you remember his week 1 press conference, he said they were writing me off and I didn't answer them or something like that.
So he didn't write back.
Yeah, he said I didn't write back. Somebody said, "You think he's writing them back yet?" But and like Jimmy G, I've never really been a big fan of. But like, hey, winning in the NFL keeps you around a really long time.
Cooper Rush can stay with a job now.
Yeah,
Cooper
Rush will keep a job. Taylor Heineke will always have a job.
Joe Flacco can play until he wants to. Like, it's always going to be like that.
I mean, bro, how long did Josh McCown have a job?
Yeah.
And he got that not even because he was winning. He was just with so many teams that it was like, oh, I mean, first of all, we might be able to get something from him because he's been with 95 teams and he knows how to watch film. He's been in the league for 35 years, might as well. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the thing with Tua that it's like we want to see like, what do you mean he can't throw the ball 80 yards down the field into a perfect spot to Tyreek like Mahomes could? Or, he can't run over people like Josh Allen can. It's the stuff like that. And I think And I said this last night in the chat, in the Unwrapped chat. I think no matter what Tua does this year, I don't sign him though. And I don't mean let him go. I'm franchising him
Yeah. I think
because
yeah,
that's what I need more than one good year from you, brother.
yeah.
I need more than one good year from Tua to be like, okay, I guess I'm gonna because I think even if he has a good year this year and the next year, I still don't think he can walk into the Dolphins and be like, yeah, give me 45 million like Mahomes and Allen. Like I don't think he can do that.
I kind of think he does have a bit of leverage because aren't they? Didn't they sell the farm? Don't they have not have a lot of first round picks anymore for
Yeah,
Tyreek?
probably.
So I mean, your
I
options
assume they.
are.
I don't know what they had to give up for Tyreek.
I think it wasn't a crazy amount because he was leaving, kind of type thing. It wasn't like, oh, we want to go out and get him, kind of. But I mean, if they don't have picks by the time to his contract up, he's got the leverage. Like, you got this talented ass team. You got two great receivers. I've been good with them. So it's me or you go and take a shot on someone else when I've proven I'm good. So I think he does have a bit of leverage, maybe not on film and stats wise, because if he continues to play like this, like he's not going to have 469, 6 touchdowns every week. But if he continues to play good or decent and they become a playoff team, I think he's got a little bit of leverage to be like, hey, I want to be here. And it's also Mike McDaniel loves the guy. Like he really believes in Tua and thinks he can be a guy. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I don't expect he's not going to get, Mahomes bag, a Josh
Damn,
Allen bag.
I'm looking at the Dolphins draft picks because they should have had a 2023 first round pick from the 49ers, still from that Trey Lance deal, but it got forfeited because of the Brady thing.
Oh yeah,
They don't
yeah,
have a second round pick, and they also had to give up a 2024 third. Then you go to 2024. Josh, they only have a third round pick.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. They don't have options at quarterback really outside of Tua unless you want to go get Jimmy. You want Baker, you want Sam Darnold. Like those are your options, or you stick with Tua, who's so far it's working. So I think they'll
So
give.
what would you do after this year though? You would you franchise him or would you sign him?
Depends on the deal he wants, because I don't think, I mean, obviously his agents and the team around him is going to be like, hey, you could ask for 280. Like, you could get 280. He's not going to get 280. He's not worth that. So, I mean, if he, suddenly is like, hey, I'll settle for, a team friendly deal. Let's keep building this team. Let's be good. Because he could be like that. We don't know. We've never seen him in a contract negotiation. He could take a team friendly deal. And if he does that, yeah, I give it to him. If he wants that crazy contract, then I'll franchise him, prove it again, make me give you that deal.
I think I'd franchise him no matter what, and then say, listen, you do it again, we can talk, and I give you my word that it'll be a pretty nice contract offer. That's what I think what I would do, just because I just don't think you can invest that much money into a quarterback without actually knowing what they are.
Yeah.
And then you get into that whole conversation of, is it the people around you or is it the quarterback actually doing it? Like we've always said, I think Jimmy's more of a, hey guys, I'm glad to be here type of
Yeah.
quarterback. And I mainly think that though because they're such a run heavy team. Like I feel like they win games because of the run, and then like he makes two good passes in the fourth quarter to George Kittle for 6 yards, and they win the game. Like
He
if
was willing to deal. Like, it's very weird because San Francisco's been plagued with running back injuries since he's been
I've
there.
never seen anything like it in my
Like,
life.
every
Every
week.
single running back that goes there, whoever their first string running back is, never look at them
Yeah.
because they're going to get hurt a game in.
Yeah, go third string. Go with their third string.
Well,
Because
not even that. I picked so Mostert got hurt. I pick up Jeff Wilson Jr. and now because he was going to be the starter, and then I guess their third string, like some rookie they drafted, he's out because he has an high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right now, I picked the right person as of right now.
It's crazy though, like because they are so run heavy, but the rotation they have back there, it shouldn't be that way. And Jimmy, I mean, when he came in this week, we'll talk about everything that happened in that game, obviously. But when he came in, he was wheeling and dealing. I mean, he was making plays out there. He looked nice.
And
So
again,
I
I
mean,
guess when you got an absolute mammoth of a man like Trent Williams,
yeah,
running the ball really isn't that bad of an idea.
that's true.
But But yeah, I think I franchise Tua, make him prove it again, and then if he does it again, then be like, all right, listen, we can talk contract now. You had 2 good years, but I like he needs to really show it. Like obviously, I think he's got over 700 passing yards and what 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the first, or 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the first 2 games. So off to a pretty solid start. I said at the beginning of the year, I want him at like the 30-35 range. Less
Who's getting paid? Like, because obviously there's the Mahomes, there's Josh Allen,
Allen.
Rodgers, Brady. Well, not
I mean,
Brady,
Herbert's about to get paid.
but who's like the middle tier? Like Kirk Cousins got a bag, so he's up there
See,
money
that's
wise.
the
Like,
trickiest
what's
part is
Tannehill? What's Tannehill's money at?
I can look. See, because like the tricky part is quarterbacks sign these contracts, and we're all like, "Oh my god, I can't believe somebody would give them that much," or "I can't believe they signed for this much." And then 3 years later, they're like the 8th highest paid quarterback because all the young guns come up and they just reset the market every time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Tua's going to be a guy like, hey, this like Mahomes has the argument like this team goes because of me. Josh Allen has that argument. Aaron Rodgers obviously had the argument. Tua's not going to have that argument. So I mean,
so
I think it's
this
going to be
is the highest paid quarterbacks by 2022 salary, guaranteed money, and total contract value. And it is Rodgers, Wilson, Murray, Watson, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Carr, Dak, Stafford, Kirk. That's the top 10.
So I mean, is it crazy if Dak, who's now had 2 season-ending injuries basically, and Kirk Cousins, who he'll get you a little further, he'll be accurate. I don't think it's too crazy to say Tua if he has a good year, he could get that same amount of money.
I guess the only thing both of them can say is I have a playoff win.
But what if Tua gets that this year?
No, that's fair. It's fair. It scares me paying a quarterback after one season.
Yeah, I mean
because you have what 3 previous seasons where he hasn't really.
But is that really his fault totally?
Year.
Is that all on him though? Like the team has to take some blame for that. You brought in Fitzpatrick. He didn't ask for Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, but I mean, wasn't that his second season, and he didn't beat him out.
He's barely. I mean, what he started most like all of last year, and I mean they weren't terrible.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I don't think you give him all that money. I think franchise tag is probably the way, but I don't expect him to be going in there wanting the biggest bag ever.
Yeah, I mean, it'll listen. It's an interesting thing of what they do because obviously it can always go wrong paying a quarterback, but I mean it can go real wrong if you pay the wrong quarterback.
Yeah. When's the last time we saw? Like obviously, guys like Jamarcus Russell is probably the best example of paying too early. Who else has been like that?
Man, I mean, didn't the Eagles give Wentz an extension?
Yeah, Goff got a bag.
I mean, Sam Bradford robbed 3 different teams.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess in current stance there isn't that many besides, like you said, Wentz, probably Goff. But
Goff looked like a dog yesterday too.
I love the Lions.
So good.
I love them. Absolutely love them. All right, let's move on though to another absolutely insane game. That would be the Cardinals and the Raiders. Listen, this was another one that you turned it off.
Yeah.
Like I understand at one point, like it wasn't as bad as the Dolphins Ravens game was, but it was 20-0 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
It was 20-0 Vegas. Arizona didn't do anything.
Could not move the ball.
In the first half. Like it was genuinely like concerning how bad they were. Like they were absolutely terrible.
They benched their first and second string running backs because they were that bad.
Kyler threw an interception
right before the half too.
They couldn't move the ball. I mean, it was bad. It was real bad. And I mean, in the first half, you got You got Adams scoring a touchdown. You got Waller scored a touchdown. Obviously, you got a field. You got a couple field goals, and then the second half, it was like I said, and what I think for the Titans tonight is it was like that. We're still here. Like we're sticking around. Like yeah, it was 20-0, but I mean that's we've seen worse. And then all of a sudden it was 27 going into the fourth quarter, and you're like, yeah, that's not it's not impossible. I guess I still don't think they'll come back. And then all of a sudden you're what was it? They were they had to have been down 16
Mm-hmm.
because they had to go for the 2 point conversion twice. The third quarter starts. They go on a 13 play, 5 minute drive, 94 yards.
Yeah.
94 yards. And score the touchdown. Kyler gets a 2 point conversion. I think it was the first 2 point conversion that lasted about, I don't know, 35 minutes.
He ran 80 yards on
80,
that play.
I think the play, in all seriousness, lasted 28 seconds.
Yeah, it
which
was
is unbelievable.
all just to run it into, not like a pass someone broke open, like he just ran it in like Kyler does.
Yeah, I mean it was absolutely unbelievable. Actually, and I was wrong, by the way. That long drive was in the third quarter. That's how they opened up their scoring. Then they won the first touchdown in the fourth quarter, 11 plays, 59 yards, 3 minutes off the clock for them. That was a 2 point conversion that took absolutely forever. And then, obviously, all the way at the end of the game, they end up scoring the touchdown, getting the 2 point conversion again to a great pass to AJ Green in the back of the end zone for the 2 point conversion. Absolutely,
they got pretty lucky that drive too, because they were done on fourth down, and then what was the call? Defense, was it pass interference or?
I think it was, because I think it was still 4th and goal.
Yeah.
On the last play,
and then they got the brand new set of downs because of a penalty, and then gets all the way to fourth down again. I think right, it got all the way to fourth down again.
Yeah, I think they did end up scoring on the fourth down because what was it? The first play was just bad.
Yeah.
Then they had the play that went off of Ertz's arm.
Mm-hmm.
It was just it didn't look like it was going to happen. I'll tell you that.
No.
And then they ended up scoring. They get the 2 point conversion, which they got to lay a game on. How do you get a delay a game on a 2 point conversion when you, first of all, you had to go for it. You were going to be down by 2 after the touchdown, and then you let yourself get a delay game, bring it back 5 yards. I thought the game was over then, and I was like, that is just absolutely unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyler ends up running it in for the it was for the touchdown, right? That he ran it in.
He ran in for the touchdown and hit AJ Green in the back.
Yeah, which was unbelievable. Now we're into overtime, and Cardinals turn the ball over on downs.
Which, I mean, they had points on the board. Hollywood, he's got to bring the ball in. Beautiful hit by the safety, but you got to catch that with your not your arms. I mean, not your hands, your arms on that play like that, because you're gonna get hit. So you got to bring that in early, and he was bobbling it and wound up getting hit, and they had to punt.
No, they turned it over on downs.
They went for it on fourth?
Yeah, that was the fourth down, I think.
I thought they punted.
No, yeah, that was the fourth down. The incomplete pass to Hollywood.
And that they had it. They had it.
Absolutely. I saw the play happen. I was like, oh, wow, they really got that one. Yeah. And then Duron Harmon former Patriot, came over, absolutely bodied him. Obviously, drops the ball after that. Now the Raiders have the ball. Starting at their own 37. You're probably thinking the game might be over.
I tweeted that it was. I was like, that hit probably won the game.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose because you pass it to Renfro. He gets down, whatever. You pass to Renfro again. Fumbles the ball, thankfully. I believe their backup tight end.
And by the way, they were in field goal range at this point. Like Hunter Renfro got them to field goal range.
I think that was the last play.
No, they were there. They were close. Like they were not like the line field goal range, but Carlson had a shot from where they were at.
Yeah. He fumbles. It gets recovered by the Raiders. Like, oh wow, they really just avoided a bullet there. Then they have an incomplete pass to Derrick Henry scored. I literally knew I should have put anytime touchdown on Derrick Henry. I knew I should have done it. I don't know what I was thinking.
That's how it goes. But then if you did, Diggs probably scored first. That's just how it goes.
Well, no, I said anytime. I don't care about who scores first.
No, like Diggs probably gets one in the first quarter, and you're like, damn, I knew I should have gone Diggs.
Well, I mean, I do have Diggs. I have Diggs, Allen, and then the Bills money line. But I was going to add Derrick Henry, and I was like, maybe not. I knew I should have done that. 7-7 game, by the way. 5 minutes, 23 left in the first quarter. And that was on a fourth down play, so pretty ballsy. But then you had an incomplete pass to Davante Adams, by the way, we got to talk about. And then they passed it to little Hunter Renfrow again on a wide receiver screen. Man fumbles the ball again, which, by the way, Isaiah Simmons, I think did he drop an interception?
Yeah,
like the previous play. Yeah. So he's probably, down on himself for that. Hits him, causes the fumble, recovered by Arizona, and returned for 41 yards or 59 yards for a game-ending touchdown. I mean, absolutely incredible.
Incredibly stupid by Josh McDaniels in that offense. Like, I'm pretty sure they were in, like, what yard line were they at where they were throwing it for 3 straight plays in overtime?
Short pass left to Hunter Renfrow on the Arizona 38.
They're in field goal range. Daniel Carlson has an absolute weapon as a leg. He can make that.
A weapon.
So it's like, I get first down. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit closer. You get lucky because you recover your own fumble. And then you throw it across the middle right into the defender's chest. You're just so lucky he dropped it. So you get lucky twice in a row. And you're like, you know what? Let's go back to the guy that just fumbled the ball. And Isaiah Simmons makes a beautiful hit, puts his shoulder pad right on the ball. And, Byron Murphy picks it up and scores. So, I mean, just dumb play calling there. You're at the 38. Give it to Josh Jacobs. Get a couple more yards. Get Carlson on the field. Send you home with a win in a game you choked. So, I mean, it's just crazy that the decision-making by them at that point in the game.
And then here's the other thing. Listen, I know that – obviously teams are going to want to take Davante Adams out of the game. He's one of the best wide receivers in football, probably a second. I still have Cooper Kupp number 1. I mean, also what he's doing again this year.
Oh, no, I think Justin Jefferson might be 1 for me right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I still give it to Kupp. Man's a dog. But how does he only have 2 catches?
Yeah.
He had 7 targets, so I guess I understand, but, like, you got to get the ball to Davante Adams more than twice.
Yeah.
2 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown. And the worst part is one of those catches was at the 1-yard line for the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So what? He had 1 catch the rest of the game because that was pretty early in the game too.
Matt Collins was looking like he was running Davante's routes that game. It was crazy. He had a lot of catches in that game.
Mac 5 for 66, 8 targets. Hunter Renfrow had 10 targets. Waller 6 for 50, a touchdown, had 8 targets. But
I don't care what the game plan is. Davante needs at least 10, 12 targets, like average. Oh, yeah. Like you need to get him looks.
And I mean, if you put the ball close to him and there isn't a defender literally on top of him, probably going to make the catch too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you said, definitely going to need a little bit more out of him. But obviously, the kind of the story of the offseason for a little bit at least was the whole Kyler Murray thing and the addendum in the contract. And, before that, obviously, he took everybody, which I hate these days. He unfollowed everybody and archived everything from the Cardinals on Instagram, gets the new contract finally. Then we find out there's an addendum because it seems like he doesn't watch any film. Everybody clowns him and them for it. Take it out of the contract now because, we didn't send the message that we were thinking, blah, blah, blah. It looks like they're going to go to an 0-2 start. Looks like Kyler was not going to be playing very well because I think up to the point where he had the touchdown, he didn't even have a touchdown and 1 interception in the game. So obviously things aren't looking very good for him. Wow, Stephon Diggs is very good at football.
Touchdown or just a catch?
No, defender was literally piggybacking him. Oh, they're calling it an incomplete pass, but it's going to be pass interference anyway. But Still a dog. Uh, what was I saying?
Something about Kyler's.
Oh yeah, and I mean, does this shut them up? You think? What do you think the effect for? I mean, I guess it won't really ever shut up haters or doubters of
Yeah.
him because no matter what he does, there's people that are going to say, "Oh, well, he can't do this. He's too small. He can't do that." But you think that this, silences them for a little at least?
I think what this does is it's becoming more and more reality that if Kyler Murray wasn't on this team and did request a trade and didn't play for them,
I
they're
think it
battling us in Atlanta for Bryce Young and
it
CJ
would be
Stroud.
so bad.
Awful. Because when they try to run an offense, they go scoreless the first half. And then when they're like, all right, Kyler, do your thing, they come back and win the game. Like, that's how much he means to this team. That's why he got the bag. So for me, I think more people are going to start realizing that this offense is dog shit, whether D Hop is there or not without Kyler. So, like you said, the haters are never going to shut up. Same thing with Tua, dude threw 6 touchdowns. They're like, yeah, but which one was impressive? Like, that's just you can't win with these haters. So, people are, if they lose next week, they're going to bring up like, oh, it's double XP weekend, so Kyler wasn't really ready. So I mean, it's always going to be there, but for me, I think it really helps his case. Like, hey, this team goes as Kyler goes. He can single handedly win you games. Running 80 yards on a 2-point conversion. So the haters will never shut up, but this helps them out a lot.
Yeah, like there's two quarterbacks that can make the play that he made on that 2-point conversion. It's him and Lamar. Like Josh Allen's mobile, he can't do that. Herbert is mobile, can't do that. Mahomes is mobile, can't do that. Like it is literally him and Lamar that would have been able to do that. And like you said, you watch this team play, and even with Kyler, they're all right. And I mean they are missing Hopkins, which you don't think of a wide receiver really meaning that much. Like obviously they're important, but you look at the team like they go from scoring like 26.8 points per game to like 21. Their yardage drops by like 30 or 50 a game. Like he does mean a lot to them. So I guess obviously when he comes back, we'll see. But yeah, this team without Kyler is just bad. Like they are not very good.
Yeah.
So is he going to live up to the contract? Probably never in people's eyes. But
because in people's eyes, like when you get a bag like that, you got to win. You got a three-peat. You got to win.
Yeah, you got to win an MVP.
Yeah.
You got to break your leg, come back the same season so you can win comeback player of the year. Like it's stuff like that you have to do. But it would be really ugly to watch them play football if he wasn't on that team. Like really ugly. So
they got no backfield. You go.
James Conner is hurt every single season.
Yeah, that defense. I mean, Chandler Jones is gone. Everybody's young on that defense. They suck. I mean, it's not that good for them without Kyler.
Yeah, it is. It's not pretty. Listen, those were the full breakdowns, and obviously there are a lot more storylines, which is why we kind of wanted to just do those two games to really focus in on. But we're going to hit the storylines across in the NFL in 1 second. Because, Josh, I said this before. Not only do I want to show you my team, but we got to update the people on the fantasy team that we drafted together. So, a quick little fantasy break because, Josh, I think you'll be amazed at how many points I scored. Like, I can't remember if I told you in the pre-show. Did I tell you?
You did not tell me the total points. I just know you have Tyreek.
Okay. On my ESPN league, and this is my main money league that I had done with me and my boys for like 4 years now, how many points do you think I scored?
Can I just get one other player besides Tyreek?
Do you want another high-scoring player or just another player?
All right, so you got a lot of guys that made a lot of plays.
Yeah.
Like great weeks for these guys.
I've probably my best day in fantasy of all time.
So obviously over 200 points. 213.
It is over 200, not quite that high.
I was gonna say that'd be crazy if you were to say higher. Damn, that's a lot of points.
204.48 points in fantasy. Vic, what's going on? Oh, Augustus Conover. Oh, okay. Joshua king of Israelites. Is that what we're doing?
Is it?
Are you guys pumped as I am about Monday night? I'm watching the game right now, Vic.
Oh yeah.
Bills just went for it on fourth down, did not get it. Titans take over at about their own 35, 3rd and 6 right now. So
We in the second quarter now or first?
No, still first quarter. 36 seconds left.
Okay.
Listen, the Eagle Viking game is about to get underway. Pulling triple duty of watching both games and doing the show.
On ESPN Plus, I like that too.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus tonight. The Vikings game.
Well, I know it's on ABC, so I mean, I still have cable, so.
I mean, I wish I did.
Shout out my parents. But Josh, let me show you the squad real quick that I'm working with here. Oh yeah, that's a good looking team right there.
That is a very nice team.
I mean, McCaffrey scores me 16, which is honestly a disappointment.
And you barely got that. If he didn't have that monster run late in the fourth, you were not getting that many.
Yeah, I mean, Carr not very impressive, but I mean, you got to Aaron Jones, 32 points. And listen, the worst part for my opponent is he's projected like 140. He would have beaten every other person in the league this week. Literally, every other person probably beats them by 20 points this week if he didn't play me. But and the other worst part for him, that was a Sunday night game. I was already up 70 points.
Really?
I was up 70 already, and then Aaron Jones was like, "Oh, okay." Tyreek 42 points for me. Amon-Ra St. Brown 39.4. Darren Waller 17. Allen Robinson 15. 49ers defense 13. And yes, this week still plays with kickers. Shut up. Ryan Suckup, baby. 10 points. So hell of a day for me in fantasy. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Very impressive.
Now let me go over to our team, Josh. The one that me and you drafted live on this show. We won week 1, as you see right there, 157.3 to 113. Domination.
Oh yeah.
We're still battling right now, but it looks like we're obviously gonna come out on top here. 98.28 at the moment, 54.46 for our opponent. And then we can show the team here. Like I said, we got Justin Jefferson still left to play. And that's also with Hunter Henry scoring us 0 points.
Yeah.
Scoring us 5. Steelers defense only getting us 2. But we had Stafford, solid 18. Swift, a solid 16, which, by the way, that play from Swift where he slipped, caught the ball, got up, and scored a touchdown, unbelievable.
Yeah, beast.
Absolute demon. Then we had Aaron Jones in this league again. Josh, I told you that was a good draft pick. I told you.
It was very nice.
Justin Jefferson tonight. Obviously, we're expecting very big things. Hollywood Brown got us a nice 12. Hunter Henry with the goose egg. Zeke 5. Like I said before, Steelers 2. Suck up 10.
Who's on our bench? Who's on our bench again?
That's what I was saying. We got Pittman on the bench. So usually, and Michael Thomas, Allen Robinson, A.J. Dillon, Palmer, Henderson. So we're going to have to make some adjustments to the starting lineup. Obviously, when Pittman's in, it's Justin Jefferson and Pittman all the way. Mm-hmm. That flex spot is open for interpretation, though.
I mean, Allen Robinson finally, week 1, we were like, okay, he's non-existent. He had a couple tutties. So
1 touchdown. I think had 4 catches.
Oh, yeah, the other one, phantom, like there was an injury on the field, but when they blew the whistle, Allen Robinson was already catching the ball in the end zone. So I was like, how can you blow the play dead when they just scored? Like that's not. But I mean, yeah. Michael Thomas too. Michael Thomas. We got options.
Yeah, so maybe listen, Josh, we can set the lineup right now if you want to live on this here program.
Can we?
Oh yeah, look at this. I'll just skip to week. Hold on. I'll skip to week 3. Bam, we can do whatever we want.
Okay, yeah, Zeke. Let's get Zeke out of there.
Yeah, we're getting Zeke the hell out of here.
Who are Michael Thomas and
Michael Thomas is playing your boys, the Carolina. Allen Robinson's playing the Cardinals.
I like Allen Robinson.
I agree.
If Pittman gets active, we put him in there, obviously. He will be active, right? He was like
I assume he'll be. So I'm already just going to, unless you want Hollywood versus the Rams.
I don't know. Hollywood's too much of a risk. I don't like it too much.
Yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of that either. But hey, there you go. That's our starting lineup.
Yeah.
Looking to go 3-0, hopefully.
I like our team a lot. Very good.
Stafford, Swift, Jones, Jefferson, Pittman, obviously if he's back healthy. And listen, Josh, we got plenty of bench players here. Might have to make a nice trade for a tight end.
Yeah. Might have to see what Waller's availability is.
Hey, see a little something. So long as you didn't fall for that pick trapping well Beckham Jr. No, I did not pick Odell anywhere. Not even in.
I did a couple leagues just in case.
Well, hey, listen.
Dynasty leagues. So
yeah, Dynasty League, valid pick. I was thinking a redraft. You're pushing it slightly.
Yeah.
All right. But let's move on from there into the storylines of the NFL. Quick little fantasy break. We got to update the people on the team that we drafted for them. We drafted this team for our viewers. But going into just an absolute crazy week in the NFL, some of the headlines: Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore, not friends. Is that fair to say? Don't exactly love each other.
Some would say they are not friends.
So Brady throws an incomplete pass to Scotty Miller. Kind of walking away.
It was
Lattimore. What was that?
It was definitely PI. Should have been a flag there.
I honestly, like I said, I think that was when my Sunday ticket was still down.
That's why he was mad. He was yelling at the ref originally. Brady was yelling at the ref originally.
And then if you see the side angle though, this man Lattimore is yelling at Bruce Arians, who's on the field, which kind of confuses me because he's like, isn't he like president or some weird thing of the team? Like, why are you on the sideline? I find it a little weird. He's yelling at Lattimore. Then Brady, he says something to Brady. Brady calls him a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Then Lattimore pushes Fournette, also pushes Brady. Mike Evans comes over and double forearm to the chest of Marshawn Lattimore onto the ground. Obviously, the brawl then ensues. I wouldn't exactly say brawl. Actually, no, there were some punches. I thought I saw.
The benches started to unload. I'm not like the biggest brawl ever, but
yeah, there were some people that not exactly weren't happy. Mm-hmm. And then the funniest thing for me is when Mike Evans is walking away talking to the referee. He goes, "That's Tom Brady, bro. What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
I need me some friends like Mike Evans.
My favorite part is that like Brady was the one that was talking a bunch of shit, and then when the brawl happened, he just like slowly walks backwards.
Listen, quarterback, you don't get involved in no brawls. Quarterback, hell no. Way too valuable.
I love them protecting him though. Love that.
That's my thing too. Like, Mike Evans took a cheap shot. First of all, it wasn't a cheap shot. He's staring. Lattimore was staring at him.
You could see he was sprinting full speed in front of him. You could see him coming.
Yeah, so cheap shot, I'm not exactly sure about, but that was a double forearm right to the chest of like, don't touch my guy.
Oh yeah.
And listen, if I'm Mike Evans, I'd do it again.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because listen, I had a great career. If I'm Mike Evans, fantastic career. Probably a Hall of Famer without a doubt.
Yeah.
In my eyes, at least. Brady won me a goddamn Super Bowl ring.
Oh, yeah.
And Brady could win me another Super Bowl ring this year. Whenever you got time, you got a chance.
Absolutely.
You lay an eyelash on somebody who you think can help you win a Super Bowl, especially your quarterback. Yeah, it's time to, do a little something.
Yeah. So
it did result in him getting suspended one game. Mike Evans is said that he is appealing it, though. I'm a little surprised, though, Josh. I'm a little surprised that Lattimore is not going to get suspended. Because technically, I guess Evans started it, but like...
If you retaliate, you should also be suspended. And he retaliated. He tackled him to the ground.
Well, not even the retaliation, but it was the talking shit to Brady that got him fired. Then he pushed Fournette and Brady, and then Evans came over and obviously bodied him. But like, we don't give Lattimore any, nothing here. I was surprised on that one.
I'm glad it was just one game too. I'm glad they weren't like, we can't have that here. 3-game suspension. Like now, if you're gonna even suspend him at all, just do it one game. Be fine with that. But I agree. I think Lattimore should get something, a fine maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, those teams don't exactly love each other, and those games are always close. I think that was the first time in the regular season that Brady had beaten of the Saints, but Yeah, it is. It is always something when Evans and Lattimore go against each other.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
literally always something.
That game was very, ugly. No scoring really until the fourth quarter, but it was a very entertaining game. Like there were a lot of things happening, so
Did
it's
you
pretty
see
fun
the
to see.
Devin White interview after the game?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you got to go back and watch it. He was like, he was talking to the reporter and he said, "Well, yeah, like what Jameis did in his last season here. We thought we had a pretty good defense and he threw 30 interceptions, so we knew he was going to give us a couple."
That he did. That he
Yeah,
did.
he certainly gave them
Jamel
what
Dean
he
had
threw.
a
What he
hell of
threw
a
two
day.
interceptions?
Jamel Dean had two, and then there was a pick six, so he had three at least,
I know. Yeah, no, I think he threw three then because he had the pick six, the one at the end of the game.
and then one in the end zone too.
Yeah,
Like
so
he
he
threw
threw three interceptions. Christian, you got to think I'm stupid if you don't think I know what that is. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it.
Don't say
But
it.
anyway, by the way, speaking of New York, actually, no, I'm going to save that for my winner and loser section of the
I think we got.
program.
I think we got something similar there.
Okay. Can I say it because I'm the New Yorker?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I appreciate that. Next storyline, probably the biggest one of the day, I would say. Trey Lance, broken ankle. He is out for the season. It was on a quarterback rush. So now, of course, everybody has to come out. Why are you running your quarterback? He's the most. Really? We're still doing that in 2022? Josh Allen runs. Did you hear that was Kyle Shanahan's excuse, too? He
What?
said the Bills do it all the time. When one of the reporters asked him about running Trey Lance, he said the Bills do it all the time, which little weird. That's
Good
a little
excuse
bit of
though.
like a I
I
know
mean,
you are, but what am I?
look, we're just trying to be the Bills. So what?
But a little, yeah, that was strange. But yeah, I like obviously you feel terrible for Trey Lance. I think somebody said that he started 6 games in the last 1,000 days.
That's tough.
So it's very difficult to be great at something when you don't actually do it.
Yeah.
And the 49ers were willing to go through this season, with the learning curve of knowing he hasn't played much football, but breaks his ankle on the play. And it's like the football gods are trying to tell the 49ers to keep Jimmy G. I
Yeah.
like you kept Jimmy G literally because you could not trade him. You signed him to the extension. Everybody's like, including us, well, at least me. Let me not speak for you. I don't really remember. I was like, this is going to be a terrible idea. Blah blah. All this, and then of course in the second game of the season, in the what was it, the first quarter, right?
Mm,
Um,
yeah. Very very early in the game.
Trey Lance ends up breaking his ankle. Jimmy comes in, and then of course people are going to read into a little bit more. Like I saw when Jimmy throw a touchdown pass or did he sneak one in?
He threw one.
He
Threw one.
had yeah he had a passing touchdown, and of course everybody comes into the huddle and like everybody's staring at Jimmy and everybody's smiling. Like, what did you want them to do? Obviously, they're gonna smile, but I see people. Oh, see, they really wanted Jimmy to be the quarterback. Look at how happy they are. They just scored a touchdown. Obviously, they're gonna be happy. Um, but yeah, what a storyline. What a storyline. Obviously, you didn't want the story to go this way. Um, but Josh, what happens if they go to a Super Bowl? I don't think the 49ers are good enough to go to a Super Bowl. Maybe they are. They probably do have a Super Bowl roster. Debo, obviously.
They were a game away last year. Not a lot changed.
You're right. You're right. You got Bosa over there as well. So the defense is pretty solid. Like you have Kittle if he ever decides to play. Um, but what if they go to a Super Bowl?
They have probably the most confusing time period ahead of them. If Jimmy plays amazing, gets them to a Super Bowl, win or lose that Super Bowl, that'd be the craziest thing to be like, yeah, we're gonna go back to Trey Lance.
Like
that'd be crazy.
Like
That'd be crazy.
how do you look the veteran players in the eye and go, yeah, we're going back to the kid who's gonna might take 10 or 12 games actually for him to actually figure out what football is.
Two
Like
Super Bowl
how do
appearances.
you look at Trent Williams and Kittle, and by then Nick Bosa will be in his third or fourth season. Like, how do you look at all of them and be like, yeah, we have this quarterback that's brought us to 2 Super Bowls now.
multiple conference championships.
Yeah, multiple championship games.
But he's gone.
But you know what? We really think this Trey Lance kid can give us a chance a couple of years down the line. Like, you can't do that.
We already got the chance. It's already happening.
But what do you do? Because you know
gotta-
how much they gave up for him? They traded like 3 first-round picks to move up with the Dolphins to get him. You can't not play him.
They're like the good version of the Panthers quarterback situation. Like, it's like we're just gonna bring in a bunch of guys, see what happens. 49ers are like, we're gonna bring in actually 2 good guys and go to a Super Bowl, but we still don't know who our quarterback is. Like, they're the weirdest thing.
Josh, Vic is giving you a hell of credit right now. Josh multitasking with exceptional passing and impeccable podcasting.
I'm glad you noticed that, Vic. No one ever really notices that, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, you're a hell of a quarterback out there for the Bills.
Hey man, I'm like that.
I'm just curious. Is it like a green screen right now? Like, you're actually on the field right now, but like this background's just a green screen, right?
I can't reveal my secrets.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
The world would explode if they knew how it worked.
Yeah,
it's a Josh thing too, though. Like, it's
okay.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, but obviously you feel terrible for Trey Lance, but God, is this going to be one hell of a storyline the next season? Like, I almost pray that the 49ers go to the Super Bowl this year.
I want it so bad because it'd be a lot easier if they didn't trade a lot for Trey Lance. It'd be a lot easier to be like, all right, we drafted him, but we like the guy actually that we already had. So,
all right, in my head, this is how it goes. They make the playoffs, lose in the first round. Trey comes back, no problem. They make the playoffs, go to the divisional. They still go to the championship game. Think they still go to Trey, but Jimmy will actually be traded for something, so it looks better. They go to the Super Bowl, lose. Same thing happens because now you can be, listen, Jimmy can't bring us to the top. He can get us there, but he's not the guy to get us over the hump. They win the Super Bowl. I think Trey Lance gets traded.
If they win the Super Bowl and Trey Lance is the starter week 1 next season, that would be insane. What's up, CJ? That would be insane.
Because listen, here, listen to the theory, right? What if some team absolutely loved Trey Lance? Obviously didn't get him because the 49ers get him. But they're also maybe the Giants this year, right? Giants are off to a 2-0 start. Maybe they don't get that top 5 draft pick to get a quarterback, but they don't believe in Daniel Jones. Do they take a 10th overall pick, maybe if they have it, pair it with a 2nd and a 5th, and be like, hey, you're not going to get back everything you did for Trey Lance, but we'll give you something and we'll take a shot on the kid.
That's also a very interesting thing. Like if Jimmy does play well enough and they're like, all right, we're going to stick with Jimmy, what's Trey Lance's trade value? Like you said, 6 games in 1,000 days. What do we know he is? We don't know anything. The college tape is North Dakota State, so you can't rely on that too much.
God, it is. I swear it only happens in the NFL. That storylines like this happen. It's the reality television.
Oh yeah.
Of sports, which is shout out CJ, who we just pulled up his comment. He's the one that gives me that idea. So,
but what if they lose in the first round, but Jimmy balls out all season? He puts up 42 in the championship game, in the playoff game, but the defense lets up 49. What if you can't be well, Jimmy can't get us there? What if he did, and it was the rest of the team that did?
I don't know. I still feel like they'll find the excuse because listen, as much as people don't like it, quarterbacks are the ones that get the wins and losses. You don't quarterback wins is a legitimate stat that the NFL has.
Yeah.
Do wide receivers have wins?
No.
So
they should get interceptions though.
At the end of the day, it'll be, listen, Jimmy got us there. He played well, but couldn't get us to win. Got to move on. So, I mean, I am more than intrigued to find out what this 49er season turns into.
Yeah.
A game close to your heart, obviously. The Panthers. They lose on another 50-yard field goal. Graham Gano, man's an animal.
Revenge game, actually.
52 and a 56-yarder, along with like a 32 and a 36, I want to say. Man is an animal.
Yeah, the first two moves that Matt Rule made when he, became our head coach was cut Cam Newton and cut Graham Gano. So, not exactly the best start.
Cam wasn't the greatest.
He's 1-25 when we're 1-25 in the Matt Rule era when teams score more than 17 points. So, if an offense is actually kind of okay.
Vic, I agree. That was a bad referee call.
But, this game should have won. It's very similar. We had plays late, just didn't happen. CMC kind of showed up late. Just didn't get it done, really. So it's a very tough situation. 0-2 start. We're in that Bryce Young, CJ Stroud battle now. The season's dead for sure. Those playoff hopes that maybe Baker can beat him and get us there. That's dead, all of it. Because we got those are probably two. Yeah, because the Lions are good. So that was two of our easiest three games. I think Seattle is probably our next easiest game, but they're probably better than us too. So yeah, we are in a very bad spot. The defense is Brian Burns played. I really like what Brian Burns did this game, but the rest of that defense is not showing up how you'd want it to be. But there is an upside. We are just one game closer from Matt Rule going back to college. So one game closer to that.
You are not wrong.
Not a lot to say in the game though. I hated it. It was pain watching it. We fumbled the opening kickoff, and then
yes, you did.
Fumbled our first drive. So you start off with two fumbles. That's not an ideal start. And back to back 60 or 50 plus game winning kicks. One of those coming from our former kicker, and we've gone through like 5 other kickers now since him. So and he's been nothing but a dog for the Giants. Not a fun Sunday. Let's just say I turned on Red Zone pretty early.
Some would say it's not what you want.
Yeah, that I would categorize that.
Oh, yeah. It just doesn't make that much sense. Like their roster's not even bad.
But it's not that bad. But when you look at it, there's nothing other than like take away CMC. There's nothing that's like, oh, they got that. Like there's none of that. There's none of that anywhere.
Not even DJ.
I don't know. I can't seem to find DJ. I don't know where the hell he went. He showed up for a touchdown and then left again. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Ben McAdoo, and I don't know what his offensive play calling is. It's
man,
a whole lot of let's sling it 3 yards to the sideline every play. And Icky, I mean, Jesus, bro, 6th overall pick. Can we block somebody? I mean,
it was a little rough.
You're getting beat by a corner. You're letting a corner get a sack that basically ended the game. A corner. Like, what are we doing?
Not what you want.
No, it is not fun. It is not fun.
What was fun? Joe Flacco and the Jets with a nice comeback. I believe the previous 2,000 something games that teams were down 13 with 2 minutes left in the game, they had all lost. Of course, the last team to blow a game like that was the Browns in 2001. So, of course, it makes sense that the Browns did it. But I don't even know what to say about it because that was another game where you're like, okay, especially after Chubb scored that touchdown. Yeah. And I guess, I
hate that. I hate that people are even saying that, though.
Yes. Like, how are you giving Chubb, like, a problem for scoring that touchdown? He made the game, 30 to...
It was 30 to 14? Something crazy. 30 to 20, something, I don't know.
Well, because they ended up winning by 1. So
and they scored 2 touchdowns in the last under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So that made it. I don't know. They got to 30. They were up 50.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Math.
They got to 30. What's your Juan Chubb's, by the way, third rushing touchdown of the game. The man is an absolute animal.
Crazy to say a team lost because they scored. Crazy to assume that.
But like, first of all, Kareem Hunt, if he gets tackled out of bounds on one of the plays, stops the clock, then Chubb scores, which I don't even have a problem with. What I have a problem with is how are you up 13? Which, by the way, everything had to go wrong for them because they scored a touchdown. York, who just made like a 95-yard
51 when he scores too, like a minute 51 on the clock when he scores.
Yeah, and then what? Who's their kicker's name? York or something like that.
Yeah, rookie Cade York, game winner against us.
Game winner, who good from 68, misses an extra point.
Yeah, good from 68 though.
Missed the extra point, so now they're only up 13 instead of the 14. Jets go down. Blown coverage. Corey Davis walked into the end zone. How do you let that happen? At that point, I'm playing prevent.
That's Denzel Ward too. That was Denzel Ward's man.
Like you got to start playing like prevent defense at that point and make sure that doesn't happen. And then who in their right mind even gets onside kicks anymore? They changed the rule, so it's basically impossible to get an onside kick. And all of a sudden, the Jets get an onside kick. Go down the field. Garrett Wilson scores a second touchdown of the game. Which, by the way, Garrett Wilson, dog.
Flacco on the money. Like, that was a perfectly timed, perfectly placed pass, too. In between three guys. It was beautiful. I mean, crazy comeback. Like you said, that onside kick, you have Amari Cooper there who's supposed to recover that. He's right in the vicinity. He dives out of bounds, just completely misses the ball, and then you let him drive down the field. It's
insanity.
Only Cleveland.
No.
What's that elf in the middle of the field? What's his name? Brownie?
Yeah.
Brownie the elf. Gotta go.
I was watching Pat today, which, by the way, moved into the Superdome today, or the Thunderdome.
Nice place.
Real nice. Well, some audio issues today, to say the least.
Yeah.
Very crunchy.
Zito figure it out.
Listen, I got nothing but faith in Pat.
Yeah.
Pat, if you ever want to come on the show, you ever see a clip of this, and
yeah,
more than welcome. Anytime you want. Anytime. But I literally could not believe it happened. That was another game where it's over, okay. Flip to the next game, and then they somehow ended up winning. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Vic said, okay, guys, I have to ask this question because I'm hearing a lot around the break room. If Dan Marino left Miami at the end of his career for a better staffed team, would he have a Matt Stafford run?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Dan Marino is a dog. I mean, obviously it would depend on, like, if he got to go to a similar roster to how stacked the Rams are. I don't know back then who would that have been.
I mean, you're probably like towards the end of his career. That's probably when the Cowboys were in the mid-90s. I think he retired in when did he retire?
Was Lawrence Taylor in the league then? Like if he went to?
Yeah, I believe. Let me see. Dan Marino retired in exactly playing career in 99. So, I mean, I guess if somehow in the middle of his career, like in 96 or something, they were just like, all right, Troy Aikman, we don't like you anymore.
If Troy Aikman was Jared Goff level.
If he – I
think he would
say so.
Dan Marino is, for people that got to watch him, they think he's the best to ever do it. Just doesn't have the accolades because he never got a ring. So I think
he went to the Super Bowl like his second year. Yeah. Everybody was like, oh, this dude's winning multiple. Never went back. Went back. I don't even know if he made it to a championship game.
Yeah. I mean, I think he did.
NFL is very difficult.
Yeah.
That whole, Tom Brady will never be, never again. Speaking of Tom, his former team, my team, New England Patriots, picked up a nice win in Pittsburgh. Ugly game. I mean,
ugly.
Just, spin on that one. Don't even really like to watch it. You only watch it if you're a fan. The Steelers' offense is terrible. I mean, it is just absolutely awful to watch. Their offensive line is terrible. They cannot run the ball.
You think we're getting close to Kenny Pickett time?
No, I don't.
Really? Really?
And the only reason is because it's Mike Tomlin. You
And
really gonna look at Mike
Mitch
Tomlin,
isn't
who's
playing
never had a
good.
season below 500, and
Yeah.
be like, "Listen, we need you to start doing this." Like, you trust Mike Tomlin that. I think, like, listen, don't get me wrong. If all of a sudden they're 1-6 or like 1-4, all right, maybe a little shot in the arm of Kenny Pickett, but they're 1-1.
Mitch isn't playing good, but he's not selling them. Like he's
No, absolutely
not
not.
costing them
And
games.
also, even before that, the Steelers were 0-4 when TJ Watt didn't play. So now they're just 0-5.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously a very big part of that team. But I mean, just looking at the game, Patriots go down. They looked pretty good on. I feel like that's their thing. They kind of look pretty good on the opening drive when everything is scripted. But then after that, it gets a little. They kick the field goal. Max throws a stupid interception in the middle of the field, double covered. To make I don't know what the thing with Mac all of a sudden is that he likes throwing jump balls. We do not have jump ball wide receivers. Like, I guess that's what they think Devontae Parker is. No, no, stop. Like, even the touchdown to Aguilar was a jump ball. Aguilar just ended up mossing the cornerback. Aguilar finally did something useful for us. I think he had over like 100 yards, had that touchdown. Steelers made it a game late, and the Pats ended up escaping with a 17-14 win. So,
Damian Harris, okay, is he good?
yeah, listen, after the game, he said, and I quote, "Look at me, dog, I'm fine."
Okay, that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear like, a little sore, I'll be all right.
Pretty funny exchange on Twitter too. Mike, I want to say it's Mike Reese, who's the Patriot beat reporter, tweeted out that quote and spelled it D-O-G, dog. And Damien quote tweeted it, and he said, "Come on, Mike, we got to get you some swag. It's dog, D-A-W-G." And Mike Reese tweeted back, he was like, "I need all the help I can get." So pretty funny exchange over there for them. But yeah, Pat's nice win. Obviously better than starting out 0-2 like some teams have. I saw this on Pat today as well. I think you have like a 63% chance to make the playoffs starting out 2-0. You have like a 48% chance starting out 1-1, and then 0-2. It's like 11.
Jeez.
So it is quite the drop off from 1 to 1 to 1 on all of those. But
do you see how many 0-2 teams are there? Atlanta, us,
the Bengals.
The Bengals. You see us or Atlanta going 0-17? You see that happen to anybody this year?
I don't think. Listen, I don't think Atlanta's good.
That can't happen because we play each other twice.
Oh yeah, that is true. I mean, I just don't think any like that Browns roster that year and that Lions roster that other year. Like, you could tell they literally just didn't have players. Like, I feel like there's too much talent on both sides that they would really go 0-17. Like, there's no way you lose 17 games with Baker and CMC and DJ Moore, and even with Mariota. Like, I'm not the biggest fan, but like you're telling me there's. Like, listen, they kept that game with the Rams competitive at the end. They almost came back and won that game.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even week 1, who'd they play week 1?
New Orleans. They lost on.
Yeah, and they should have won that game.
Yeah.
They choked the lead, which they tend to do. Also, Josh, did you see that the ball that Matt Ryan had when he passed for his 50,000th yard was the 200? It was 283.
That's
like, he can't get away from it.
Could you imagine they're presenting that to him? Like, here's the ball. He's like, oh my God, thanks. What the fuck? Like, is this some sick joke?
Like, that just doesn't happen. Like, I don't understand how that's possible.
Yeah.
Another thing I don't understand, Colts lose their 8th straight game in Jacksonville. Not only did you lose the game, you got embarrassed.
You know the last time they got shut out?
Nothing.
You know last time they got shut out?
I don't.
Against Jacksonville.
That's
in Jacksonville. 2017, I believe. So that's just tough. I mean, that game was so ugly. So ugly. They could not move the ball. Obviously, Shaq Leonard was out. Pittman was out. Kenny Moore, I'm pretty sure, was out too.
You know what I don't understand, though? Like, I understand all those things that you just said. But the thing that absolutely blows my mind, and if I could find the exact number right now as I stall while I'm looking it up, I need to figure out in what world really there's no stats available for this game. Come on,
Well, I know
NFL.com.
you're talking about Jonathan Taylor.
What do you get? Like 5 rush attempts?
Through, I think, 3 quarters, like midway through the third, he had 6 carries for 9 yards. 6 carries for 9
Here's
yards.
my thing. Don't care. Like he is
That's not enough
literally
carries. You're not letting him get going.
no.
You
He's
gotta
your
get him
entire. He's your entire offense, especially with Pittman out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like especially with him out.
Nyheim Hines was their best receiver out there. That's your backup running back. You need Jonathan Taylor. Like you need him.
And let me tell you something, Josh. I didn't say it on this show, so technically it's not even true. But on the hard count, I might have said that Matt Ryan's gonna have a career year. But I didn't say it on this show, so like technically,
And, I mean, that's not even a crazy statement looking at before week 1. Like I thought this team's gonna win 10, 11 games.
so did I. I thought they
feel
were
like
winning
they might
the
be-
division very comfortably.
Yeah. But I mean, you tie with Houston and then you get shut out by Jacksonville.
And now,
Listen, I called for his head last week. Frank Reich. Guess what? Your time's coming up, buddy. Not too
Josh,
much
do
longer.
you know who they played this week?
Who?
The Chiefs.
Yep. 0-3. Well,
0-3.
2-1.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
0-2-1.
Good
Whatever.
luck.
You
Good
should be
luck.
you should be 0-3 for tying with the Texans.
But then the way the NFL works, they're going to win this game. Like Matt Ryan's going to have 300.
Yeah, he's going to throw for 3 touchdowns, 450.
Yeah.
Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor's
Taylor.
still going to have 150.
Yeah.
They're going to have 700 yards total of offense. And yeah, things like that happen. You're right. Final big headline of the day before we get into our nice little QB of the week, player of the week, winners, losers things. So we're getting a little nervous for the Bengals here. And not because I don't think that they're bad all of a sudden, but then again, their offense just does not look like they can literally do anything correctly. Joe Burrow's been sacked 13 times in 2 games. 13 times. Not exactly what you want. I believe he's been sacked over 50 times in his last 5 games combined.
That is something, we thought that they addressed the O-line this offseason. Lyle Collins says he's the personal bodyguard for Joe Burrow. Now, granted, TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, not an ideal start, but still giving up 7 and then 6, like that's inexcusable. You can't do that. You're not giving Joe a chance. Like he has no shot.
Not even that. Like Ted Karras from the Pats, whenever he played for us, solid. Alex Kappa was great on the Bucs. Wasn't he a Pro Bowler last year?
Yeah, he was a dog.
So the only reason I say I'm not exactly concerned for them is because offensive lines take time to mesh and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, you're going to have to start winning some games here. And you catch a huge break because I think the only 2 teams that can win this division are the Ravens and the Bengals. I just think that the Browns can't do it because Deshaun's out for too long. I don't think the Steelers are obviously good enough to do it. But like you got to win some games here because honestly, the first 2 games of the season, in a lot of people's eyes, you should have won. You could have been in first place right now, and the Ravens just just lost a game that sticks with you for a quick second.
Oh, yeah.
Like they play us next week, and I'm kind of hoping the first half of that game they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we just did that," and like they're lost, and all of a sudden we can jump out to a lead. Probably won't happen because our offense is terrible too. But yeah, 13 sacks in 2 games and like over 50 in his last 5 or something like that is in.
I'm worried about that. I said last week the picks and sacks worried me a little bit for Joe Burrow. Worried me a little bit. That defense is dog shit too. Cooper Rush is cooking you like that.
Eli
Rush,
Apple is so bad.
so bad. I mean, he's getting mossed by Noah Brown. Who is that? Who is Noah Brown? Like,
I'm asking the same question.
Like, it's insane how. I mean, usually it's the Super Bowl winner that like falls off, but I guess it's happened before, But I thought the Bengals were going to be like bounce back. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. They can't do anything if they don't get any time.
Yeah, it's certainly something. Also, the Eagle game is underway. Ooh, what a screen pass by the Eagles. Oh, my God. Oh, there's a flag on the play. Looked like a good screen pass, though. 12 minutes left in this one. Like I said, basically just underway. Let's see what the flag is real quick. Hold on. We got the ref talking. Ineligible receiver downfield. Tragic.
Mm.
Josh Allen just threw a touchdown to Stephon Diggs.
Let's go.
That's one part of
Let's
my
go.
That's one part of my parlay.
Hey, see, now we can see after you completely fucked me over last week. I didn't even address that. How you completely
I thought we were going to get through the show without
completely screwed me over with Denver. I called it from the jump. I'm over it, but it's nice to be on the same team. That Diggs touchdown's a step in the right direction.
I need a Josh Allen one, and then just the Bills to win. So Josh,
the Bills 28.5. AJ Brown get in the end zone, Philly to win. So I got a lot more to go.
Okay. Well, 3rd and 13 right now for the Eagles at the 50-yard line. I'll tell you what happens on this play. Hurts is dropping back into the shotgun. Got a nice pass over the middle of the field. First down. I believe that is who's number 11. That's AJ Brown, of course. A goat, apparently. Anyway, listen, let's move on. Our last little segments here, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So not only you guys can watch football, could we thank you, everybody who's tuning in. Maybe you got the game up and you're listening to us as well, which is much appreciated. But hey, me and Josh like to watch some football too. Also, I got to take a quiz for school. First one of the year. Totally forgot almost. But all right, Josh, QB of the week. You know what? Just to satisfy my haters, I'll go with Lamar, even though we lost.
I'm sticking with the same game, but going the other side.
I think that's the correct answer.
If I wasn't going to go with Tua, I'd go Flacco. 307, 4 touchdowns.
I'll go with Lamar, even in a losing effort.
Yeah.
That's growth right there.
That's growth. I love to see that from you.
Who's your player of the week?
Mine are it's grouped in. It's the Jets rookies. I'm taking the Jets rookies. Breece Hall, 7 carries, 50 yards. Also caught a touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 8 catches, 102, 2 TDs. Dog. Sauce Gardner had a really nice play in the end zone against Donovan Peoples-Jones that stopped the touchdown. So,
and he had a great week 1 too. Sauce might be, listen, they had Revis for a little bit. Listen, I'm not comparing it. We're early to do that, but
very nice showing for the Jets rookies. So they're all my players of the week.
Did you also see that Sauce has his own sauce?
I did see that. Why wouldn't you with it? With that being, the nickname.
Brilliant marketing. Brilliant. Yeah. Next up, we have our winners and losers. And listen, I want to take this one. I want to give a big fat W to the state of New York. For the first time since 2009, I believe it is, the Jets, Giants, Yankees, and the Mets all won on the exact same day. What a beautiful time to be a New Yorker. I tweeted it out. Everybody go get yourself a nice bacon, egg, and cheese. Throw on the Tims.
Is that really like a big, why is that? I know it is, but I eat that all the time too.
I don't know. Like, you go to the corner store in the city, listen, don't get me wrong.
It's probably the quality is probably.
I don't live in the city, so I can't really say this. But, I mean, I do live here, so, I can claim it. And technically, it's still a big thing anywhere in New York. But you go somewhere, you get a bacon, egg, and cheese. Jalen Hurts into the end zone for a touchdown. 6-0, I should say.
Who?
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, he ran it in?
Oh, yeah.
God damn it. Throw it to AJ, you dumbass.
Yeah. Listen, I think we'll get there. Don't worry. I think he hit a little gritty, too, possibly.
I was going to take Jalen, too. That was so cool.
See, I told you it's one of those situations. But, yeah, I don't know. Bacon, egg, and cheese are just a thing here. That, chopped cheeses, that's a big thing as well.
Chopped cheese?
Oh, yeah.
What is a chopped cheese?
What's this guy pick out? Guys yesterday, the side boys beat the Bengals for the proof that Whack Brass guy is overrated and overpaid. I tweeted that out yesterday, and I was hoping I was going to get a bigger reaction. I unfortunately didn't, but I really wanted one.
That guy, he's going to stay with the job. He just earned himself 7 more years and 7 more contracts because of one game.
Yeah. Losers, listen, Bengals are line right now. Another winner, comebacks. Obviously, I think that was the first time since the 60s that I want to say, since the 60s that 3 teams in the same day came back from 13 points or more. So
Scott Hansen says it every time the fourth quarter gets started. It's the witching hour where wins become losses and losses become wins.
I'm gonna give Red Zone a try one of these
You
days.
got it. It's the best, man.
I'm gonna do. I think. Listen, maybe if Sunday Ticket works the whole time this week, I'll give it a try.
It's funny because like when I'm watching it sometimes because it's 7 hours commercial free football. That's what they say. So I saw something on Twitter because sometimes they won't get out of a game quick enough and a commercial pop up.
Yeah.
Someone was like, only 6 hours, 59 minutes, and 32 seconds of commercial free football. I want my money back.
It's like that. It's
hilarious.
Yeah, winners comebacks, the state of New York. I mean, hey, Tua Kyler for shutting some people up for the week at least. For the week. Loser, Bengals O-line. Browns fans.
Sunday ticket losers.
Yeah, Sunday Ticket. We lost big time. Good thing I only pay like $100 for it because I'm a student. Because let me tell you, if I had the max deal and I was paying, well, I think it's like $400 because you can log it into like as many devices I think as you want. This is not what you like to see. I don't know what happened. I was on the Eagle game, but they're bringing an ambulance onto the field in the Bill game.
Oh no.
I don't know what happened. I'm obviously not sure. I was on the Eagle game, but coming back to see this is definitely not what you want. They're back into a commercial, so maybe if they come back, we can.
Prayers to whoever's hurt.
Facts. I'm very. I wonder if anybody has tweeted it out yet. But anyway, that's my winners and losers. What about you?
Yeah, I also had New York. Just all of you guys winners. Congrats. The biggest winner of all is that guy on Twitter who turned $7 into $250,000 fucking dollars.
Well, is he though? He had a chance at $1 million. He cashed out, and the last two things hit.
I don't care.
You know what, Josh? I agree with you though, because I see people. I can't believe you would cash out. You should have contacted a big better, and he would have made you properly hedge your bet, and you would have been walking away with more. People are so.
You've done gambling a little bit. You hit the mega jackpot or super mega jackpot. I'll take either one.
I would literally take any free money anybody has ever.
$7 to $250,000 or $7 to $1 million. You pick for me. I want the $1 million obviously, but I'm not going to be mad at $250K. Definitely not mad at that. $7 turning it into that. No. That's my only other winner. And just one loser this week. Fat Matt Rule. He's still on there. So
yeah.
Big L.
All right, so it's Dane Jackson. I honestly don't know who that is, but obviously prayers up for Dane Jackson because I'm trying to look for what happened maybe on Twitter, see if anybody has posted a video or something. But obviously, ambulance on the field is obviously not anything you ever want to see. They're still on a commercial break. Anyway, we move on. Prayers up to Dane Jackson, to our prayer and respect. Well, first we'll start with the prayer circle. Josh, you got anybody add to the prayer circle? Good old prayer circle? I mean,
yeah, Trey Lance, I think, deserves to be added in there, not just because of the injury, but, we talked about it. We have no clue what could possibly be next for him with this ending his season, and Jimmy's still there. So prayers up to him for, a healthy and quick recovery to the injury. And prayers for him for the future of his career.
I agree. I'm adding it to the list right now on the phone. So far we have Derwin James because we just want him to stay healthy. TJ Watt because of the pec, but hey, we might be able to take TJ Watt off because apparently he's supposed to only come back in like 4 weeks or something like that. Yeah. Man is an animal. Joe Burrow, which I was going to say maybe we should add him. I forgot we already had to put him back on the list because the O-line's terrible. Hopefully later in the season we can remove him. Obviously now Trey Lance. Josh, I got somebody for this one. Put some respect on my name. You got any idea where I'm going with this?
No clue.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I like
that.
He
has a touchdown in 8 straight games.
Did you see all of his stats for those games? He's getting 8 catches and 80+ yards since that start.
I drafted him, and I'm not even saying this because he's on my fantasy team and gave me 39 points. But Like he's just really good.
Yeah,
He is he's the clear number one on that team. People know it, and he still has 8 straight games with a touchdown. It's like at what point? Now listen, I'm not saying he's a top 5 receiver. I don't even know where I would rank him. But at some point, he keeps doing things like this. What do you have? I think he had 9 catches, 110 yards or something like that, and then the 2
also had an
touchdowns.
end around for like 60 yards.
Yes, took an end around for 68 yards. Like very good at football.
Yeah,
Very, very good. Definitely
father
better
was
than
like what, Mr. Universe? Is that what his dad did?
it was he really? Oh yeah, I
On
think
Hard
I remember.
Knocks.
You're
On
right.
Hard Knocks, they're
I
like,
remember seeing that.
yeah, yeah, he's a dog, bro. He's built for it. And his brother's a dog too. Plays for the Bears. He's a dog.
Oh my god!
What?
I saw the play that Dane Jackson is injured on. Makes a lot of sense. It is on Twitter. He went for the tackle. Another Bill came down, and his neck is this like all the way back. It looks like touching.
Tough.
So
Perfect.
I guess they are saying that he's had some movement though.
Good.
So obviously that is very, very good, but that obviously did not look good. Obviously not even a dirty play or anything either.
Mhm.
He was sliding down the back of the returner. Another Bill came in and finished the tackle and just took his head out. But good thing that he has some movement. Obviously, crazy, crazy, scary play if you go and can find it. That is obviously did not look good. Um, Final one of the day. We go to everybody's favorite segment. Our nice. Wow, it's been an hour and 46 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun, Josh. Let me
Oh
tell
yeah.
you. We go in to everybody's favorite, the pick segment. Nice little recap, Josh. Why don't you do it? Why don't you tell us how we did last week?
Yep. So Sunday we only disagreed on one game. It was Tampa versus New Orleans. I had Tampa. You took New Orleans. So
One time I
we
better
did not
get
have a
through.
good day though. We did not have a good day.
No.
But there were a lot of upsets and a lot of comebacks. So I went 7-7. You went 6-8. Ties us at 15, 13-1 for the season. And this Philly Minnesota game will decide who's got the 1 game lead.
All righty. That's our record going into week 3, obviously, as you can see. With that being said, why don't we kick it off? Thursday night football, Steelers at the Browns. Going Steelers.
I'll go Steelers too. I have no clue in this game. I'm not surprised if either team wins.
Yeah, I just don't believe in Jacoby, obviously. And like I guess that the Browns can just run the ball effectively enough to win the game. But this is one of the games where you're just like throw a dart and see which team it lands on.
Yeah. Not betting on that game.
No, absolutely not. Ravens at the Patriots, our first game at home of the season. Yeah,
Ravens.
yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. They just lost a heartbreaking game. They're probably going to be a little upset about that. Unfortunately, probably going to take it out on us. Bill is not very good against mobile quarterbacks. I will go with the Ravens. Hopefully, I'm wrong though. Would love to be wrong on this game. This is another kind of disgusting game. Texans at the Bears.
The Bears.
I thought you were going to go Texans, honestly.
Nope.
You know what? I'm going to go. I was going to pick the Bears, and I'm still going to pick. I'm still going to pick the Bears. they've like surprisingly, like they obviously beat the 49ers, and then they kept the Packers there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I think they're still terrible, but maybe they're. Oh, man, I do love me some Dougie Davis Mills.
He's not looking like last year Davis Mills though. He is not looking like that.
No. Okay.
No, I've watched him these first 2 weeks. He's not looking like that. Damian Pierce is a dog, but Davis Mills has not looked like old Dougie Davis Mills yet.
All right. Well, until Davis Mills can come.
They bring in what's his name? They bring in some guy to run like quarterback runs, but he's not like fast. Like they bring him in like he's Taysom Hill or something, and he's just the same speed as Davis Mills.
Gang Green is taking the W from the Bengals. If the Side Boys can, we can too. I don't know.
See,
Raiders.
That's an actual. That spread is going to be like 4.5.
You think? Nah. I think it might be like.
Yeah,
you might. You might be right.
Can you put him at like an 8.5 spread? Like
you put Mike White in just for this game, relive the magic of last year.
That'd be awesome.
Raiders at Titans. Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, this game I think it also is going to be close on the spread wise, depending on how Tennessee does tonight. Down what 17-7?
17-7 at half.
Yeah, I mean, Raiders. I really liked what I saw from them, despite losing the game. The offense was moving the ball well, so I'll take that.
Yeah, they got super conservative in the second half of the game. I think Carr had like 200 yards passing at halftime, and then finished with like 252.
Yeah.
So, not exactly what you want. Chiefs at Colts. I mean, we talked about this before. I think we're both going Chiefs, obviously.
Absolutely.
This game is very interesting.
Yeah.
This is the best game of the week to me. I lied. Packers and Bucks probably is. But
no, I think this game clears Packers.
Really?
I mean, the Packers looked good last night, but that's because it's the Bears.
Yeah, but the Bucks haven't even looked good. Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're not both looking that good, I'm not super excited. Don't think it's going to be crazy like it usually is. Miami, Buffalo, both teams are putting up numbers early this season, so very excited.
Bills at Dolphins. I'm going with the Bills.
I'm going with the Bills also.
Okay.
I really want to take, because this is a team you do take a shot on to try to get a win, but I just can't go against the Bills this early in the season.
No, I can't either. I definitely cannot. Lions at the Vikings. Obviously, the Vikings are playing right now, which I feel like the Eagles have a flag on every play. God damn. But Lions at Vikings. Going with the Vikings.
Yeah. I want to pick the Lions, but
badly.
I want them to. I'm be rooting for them, but I got to pick the Vikings.
Who's the wide receiver that they drafted that's hurt?
Jamison Williams.
I'm excited for him to come. Do we have a timetable?
Hey, him and Jalen Waddle are very similar speed. I don't know the timetable, but very fast guy.
Is it this season?
I don't know. I'm not even sure because the injury happened in the championship game in a bowl game last year in college. So not 100% sure. And I think he played a little bit in preseason. So I think it's more like soreness and just making sure he's ready. Yeah. So I bet he'll play at some point.
Bengals at the Jets. Bengals.
I don't know if I want to take a shot here.
Hey.
I'm going to go Bengals.
There's upsets every week, Josh.
I'm going to go Bengals. But Joe Flacco, 300-plus yards each game. He's moving. Garrett Wilson, dog.
MVP contender?
I'm taking Cincy.
The Eagles at the Washington Commanders. Going with the Eagles.
Yeah, Carson Wentz. I mean, he had another good game. That game was a lot of scoring. A lot. That Detroit-Washington game.
Yeah.
Washington kept making it a one-score game. Detroit would score. They would score. So, should be high scoring, I think.
Lions can certainly score. Can't stop anybody from doing the same to them, but the Lions can score, seems like.
Hayden Hutchinson had like 3 sacks, too.
Damn it. Did I give a player of the week?
I
don't think either of us did.
I gave the Jets players.
Oh, I didn't. My player of the week was going to be Hayden Hutchinson, actually.
He was a dog. He's a beast.
And and his sisters are bad. So, just a plus. Saints at your Panthers. Going with the Saints here.
You know the last time the Panthers won a game?
No, I don't.
Cam Newton's return.
Interesting.
9-game losing streak.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Longest in the league.
Not what you want.
2 straight years in 2 weeks. I've picked them every game. And for the first time, I will not be picking the Panthers. Wow. I'm going with the Saints. And,
this is a moment in generational sports history.
Yeah, I'm not.
At exactly 8:55 on Monday, September 19th.
After how many straight picks would that be? Because I've never not picked them.
What, 2 seasons in a row? 16 plus 17, right?
And then plus 2 games this year. So that's 18 plus 17. Math, 35?
Hey, whatever you say. I was bad.
35 straight games. I've picked them. Not making it to 36.
The end of an era.
Yeah.
It truly, truly is. We got to talk about Jags and Chargers, or can I move past it?
Yeah, we can move past it. But Trevor Lawrence is a dog. He's a dog.
Yeah, and then again, I guess if Justin Herbert doesn't play.
Right.
Not really.
You think if Chase Daniel's in there, you think it's still Chargers?
The roster is ridiculous.
I think I might I might take a bet on Jacksonville if Chase Daniel's starting. I fucking hate Chase Daniel.
Okay. Hey, listen, you're welcome to do whatever.
They won. I took them week 1. They should have won. I hate Carson Wentz. I bet on them this weekend too, and they won. They're plus money both times.
How dare you insult my team, Josh? You're lucky you're beating the Titans' ass right now. I'll come at Baker. Rams at the Cards. Interesting. Listen, the Rams have not looked as great as I thought they were going to look. Cardinals coming off a big come-from-behind win. I'm going with the Rams.
I'm also going with the Rams. They didn't look great, but the offense moved the ball. Atlanta just seems to score. Like the Saints defense, very good. Basically held Brady to nothing throughout most of that game, but Mariota scored a bunch of points on them.
Yeah.
So, that Atlanta team, I don't know. I don't think you can use how they play as like they let Atlanta do this. Like, no, Atlanta did that. Like, there's no letting them. They're just good for some reason.
Another game that you probably shouldn't watch unless you're a fan of either one of these teams. And it's only week 3, and I'm saying that.
Birds.
The Falcons and the Seahawks. Josh, I want you to pick first.
Falcons.
Damn, I was really hoping you would pick the Seahawks.
Hell no.
All right, fine. You know what? I'm so confident that the Eagles are going to win tonight and that I'll be ahead 1 game, and I don't want to be boring and pick the exact same team on every single pick like what we've done so far. I'll take the Seahawks. I will take the Seahawks.
I'll be happy taking a 2-game lead.
What?
I'll be happy taking a 2-game lead.
Yeah, or you'll be down to.
Better than last year and the year before.
Well, listen, it's early. You didn't start getting blown out usually till later in the season, which I still got some confidence in.
Yeah, I do get risky.
Packers at the Bucks. Tampa. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers does not own them.
You're right. You are right. San Francisco 49ers, which when I saw this with Sunday Night Football before with Trey Lance, wasn't very interested. Now with Jimmy, kind of interested. At the Denver Broncos, who we didn't even talk about this either. The fans counting down for the Broncos so they didn't get a delayed game.
They got to delay a game on a field goal and had to punt. They are bad.
Yeah. What's the coach's name? Is that
Daniel Hackett?
It is Hackett. That's what I thought. Yeah, it's been real ugly for him so far.
Yeah.
49ers at Broncos.
49ers.
I'm going with them as well.
As you should.
Wanted you to pick the Broncos, but
until
they figure it out,
we're really gonna let this week decide on Atlanta versus Seattle.
Why? Who are you going with in Dallas and Giants?
Actually, yeah, it could be 2 terrible games that decide it. I'm going Dallas.
Good. I was actually going to go with the Giants.
I like Cooper Rush.
3-0 start maybe for the Giants. A game at home Monday night.
That was a tough pick, but I just feel like I don't know. That Dallas defense is very good.
No, they're some dogs.
Very good.
I don't know. I had a little bit of a different swag with Brian Dable.
That is true. But I think Daniel Jones is gonna Daniel Jones.
Yeah, no, he's not very good. Probably a bad pick for me. Probably made 2 bad picks there because I did want the Falcons. Actually, no, you know what? I lied. I had the Giants in my head that entire time. The only one that I no, I probably shouldn't have made is the Seahawks one, but it is at home. 12th man,
Mm,
12th man.
very good, but not Russ this time. We're talking Mariota.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's Mariota versus
That's
Geno
probably the
Smith.
two worst games we could have to decide who's leading.
Oh, I mean, absolutely, not even close.
We didn't disagree on Buffalo or Miami and pick.
I really thought you were going to take the Miami. I really
I
did.
was going to, but I was like, nah, I can't go against Buffalo.
You could. You can change it right now.
No, we don't do that anymore. That's illegal.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Unbelievable. All right, listen, people. It's been a long episode, but listen, this was one hell of a week. So, had to get everything in, but now we have done that, and we let you all be free. Josh, where can they find you before we go?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can be in here asking us wonderful questions and interacting with us like Vic did. Make sure you head over to Underdog. Use code Gen Z. They always, like I say, they give away free money. Not only with our promo code, but I think last week it was over half a yard for Tom Brady, and then you just pair that with something else you're confident in, you can make a lot of money.
Yes,
So head over to Underdog, use code Gen Z, and tune in Monday 7 Eastern.
As for me, you know what it is by now. Anthony Conover _ on Twitter. Like Josh has said, every Monday, me and him are here breaking down everything. Tuesdays is the hard count. That's 9 Eastern. Me and CJ break down everything the football world. So, yeah, we did a lot of football today. We'll do even more tomorrow on the hard count. Also, we have a Twitter for the hard count. So go over there and follow it, the hard count _. So please go follow. Give us some likes over there and everything. Thursdays is backstop banter with me and Michael. We're getting very close to the MLB playoffs. Aaron Judge is on Triple Crown watch now. He's not only just about to break the AL record, calling it now. I will have you guys join Gangrene Hype Train by Wildcard Week.
Panthers keep playing like this. I might be a temporary Jets fan.
Listen, I'm a Patriot fan. I can't even. That wouldn't even be illegal for me. But yeah, Aaron Judge is on Triple Crown watch. He's not just on AL record home run watch. I believe he's 1 point away batting average wise from the Triple Crown. So unbelievable. Albert Pujols is going for 700 home runs, and obviously, like I said, the playoffs are right around the corner. With all that being said, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Wonderful episode as usual. Pod will be up tomorrow because Josh is always very good with that. And with all that being said, we'll catch you on the next episode. All right.